but not that bad. 4 minutes on my clock anyway. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the cafe. Come on in, grab your coffee and tea, pull up a chair, hang out with us in the cafe. Got Michelle with me. Hi,
Hi,
Michelle.
everyone.
So good to have you back.
So
Popping
good to
in
be
here and
back.
there. You were here on Saturday, which was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed being here. It's refreshing to be here for me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was talking to Charlotte, and Charlotte's supposed to be on the show, by the way. Michelle and I,
Hmm.
we have no clue where Charlotte is.
Nope.
Now, she's supposed to be here, but I don't know where she is. So she may pop in at any second. But she was telling me how she was having one of those days and she was a little grumpy. I was like, no, that's perfect. Come on the show. And, we used to do those Rowdy Reader shows. You can come on and be Rowdy Reader. She's supposed to be here. Tell people what you really think and blow off some steam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
she says the shows always raise her energy level.
They do
So
mine.
I'm I'm
Always.
I'm really surprised that she's not here, especially because on Facebook Messenger, I was sending her the link to the show and chit chatting and what we're talking about tonight and everything like that. And in fact, it's her topic. Meditation. We're supposed to talk about. We might not. We might end up just doing a reading show and doing
Yeah,
meditation later if she doesn't show up because that was her topic.
yeah. Yep.
I got a few things I can say on it, and talk about the benefits of meditation, different types
Hmm.
of meditation, using cards for meditation. No one does that. Everybody does
Mm-mm.
they do the regular, no mind meditation and
Yeah.
or Satori or and it's like, no, there's other ways you can do it, including using cards. Ah,
Yes.
and it supercharges your meditations. But it was her idea, and she's the one that wanted to talk about it. So hopefully she shows up in a little bit. I mean, I saw her and she was talking to me in Facebook and everything like that. And I don't know. Sally's here. Sally was in the chat room. I was setting things up, and it was like, I don't know, 25, 30, 35 minutes before the show. Sally's like, hi guys. And I was
Hi,
like, oh wow.
Sally.
She's really desperate to hang out with us and chat, aren't you, Sally? Yeah. Hey, if you
Right
have any
on.
questions, Sally, pop them in the chat. We'll give
Yep,
some time for people to
absolutely.
get in here. Right, right.
Yep.
Oh, and Michelle, we now have
Da, da,
what
da, da.
what is it we got? The new thing.
Let's see here. I'm gonna say super chats
Super chats.
and super stickers.
How do they do
Yes.
that?
Let's see here. So with the super stickers, you're in your chats and you go down to the smiley face, and then there's the dollar sign, and it says super stickers or super chats.
Hmm.
And with the super chats or the super stickers, it's pretty decent. You can send your little stickers. I'm gonna try to show it
Oh,
without it.
cool. Well, what's neat about the stickers is that could be a response to something. Let's say we like we just did a reading for you and you wanted to do a thumbs up sticker or something, you
Yep.
know, just we were talking about something and you wanted to agree and or laugh or whatever. There's all these cool stickers and you can just send that and it's like, just sending some love,
Yep.
helping us keep the lights on, literally.
Yep.
It's funny that because when you were holding that up, like it went dark. But the neat thing about the super chats is that you can type in your question and send it as a super chat. So
Yes.
we'll see it, and then we know to go right to your super chat, right to your question, no waiting. We stop whatever we're doing if a super chat pops up. course,
Yep.
you could still do it the old fashioned way. You can go to psychic.cafe/coffee. Oh, let me put that in the chat while I'm thinking about it. Let's see, coffee. And you can click that link and just let us know in there that, hey, I just bought you a cup of coffee. We'll go right to your question also. But the super chats are so much better because it's like
Yeah.
big, colorful, and it has your question right there. And we'll spend more time with you. We'll, go more in depth. Usually we trade off readings back and forth, but maybe all two or three of us, how many hosts are on here, will read for you for your question. And then if you have additional questions related to the same subject matter, like we answer and you come up with something else and want to ask, we'll even spend more time with you and answer that too. So yeah, really cool. We got super chats, we got super stickers, but we still have buy us a cup of coffee because, hey, we are the Psychic Cafe. So
Yes.
we have to have the coffee, right? Psychic.cafe/coffee. The other thing about the coffee link is that super chats and super stickers you can only do when you're actually here. So what you can do if you're going to be asking a question, let's say, on the next show, in between shows, you can send us a cup of coffee and then just message one of us and say, hey, I sent you a cup of coffee. I want to be first on Monday or Saturday show or Thursday or Sunday, whenever we're doing a show. And we'll take your question first then, so you can set that up. Also, it works the other way. Like if the show's ended, you can no longer send I don't know if you can. I don't think you can send super chats and super stickers when the live chat's not running. I don't think you can do that.
I don't think you can.
Yeah. But what you can do is you can go to the coffee page, psychic.cafe. It looks like this. Where is it? Shoot, now I can't find it. Oh, well, here, I'll just do this. I'll just do the banner. So you can go to psychic.cafe/coffee after the show. And, like say the show ended and you were like, oh, damn, I got that reading and I wanted to, send them a little tip. So you can go to the coffee page and set us a cup of coffee, even though you can no longer do the super chats or the super stickers because we're no longer live. We're no longer live. And speaking of Charlotte, there she is.
Better late than never.
Hi,
Better,
Charlotte.
better late than
What can I
never.
say?
Well,
It's been one of
we were
those.
having fun, Charlotte. We were having fun with you because we were like starting the show out, and Michelle and I are going, wait a minute, the topic's meditation, and it's Charlotte's freaking topic. Where the hell, Charlotte?
I thought I handed that over to you.
No, you came up with the topic. That means that you wanted to talk about meditation, I guess.
Yeah, but then you started talking about meditation with cards, and I'm like,
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
that's a
fucking
little
meditate
tiny.
with cards.
That's a little tiny
Is
thing
that
I'm
a
gonna
record? I
slap on. That's a little. That's a little.
bomb.
Let me get this out. That's a little tiny thing that I was going to add to it at the end after you do your discussion about meditation. Because
Okay.
Michelle and I are like, oh, well, I guess we could say something about meditation. But,
Charlotte and I can talk about meditation. We got this.
it's a Charlotte thing.
Well, okay, everything's a Charlotte thing apparently. And why wouldn't it be? Because
Oh, and we were talking today, Michelle, and just adding on to that, we came up with like a dozen other topics, for the shows. And if you guys haven't noticed,
was it
we're
a
doing
dozen or was
topics.
it 10,100,000? That was a lot of topics.
Yeah.
And I had one more and I forgot. Oh shoot, I forgot to turn the beeper off. Hang on. I swear
Irene's
I'm gonna
here. Hi,
take my
Irene is
something in.
here.
Hi, Irene. Hi, Maria.
Oh, and by the way, Irene and Maria's here too now. Hi, Maria.
Yeah, what are you doing? Sorry. I mean, when you
We're talking to the animals. She's an animal communicator, and sometimes it's actually audible. No, I wanted to mention Irene's one of our lifetime members, and that reminded me to mention I wanted to congratulate Kelly Mahoney, our newest lifetime member.
welcome, Kelly.
Yeah. So Kelly and Sandy both joined as lifetime members in January here. Just wanted to mention that real quick.
Nice.
Thanks for the make
Congratulations. Welcome.
Sandy Sally. So,
Awesome.
are we ready? Are we ready to talk about meditation?
Yeah, let's go right into it. I was thinking, we normally do the card of the day and all that kind of stuff. It's like, let's do that later. Let's change things up and talk about meditation. Yeah. Oh, I looked it up on the web.
Meditation time. Come on.
Yeah. I looked it up on the web. By the way, this is the other hump day where we get a little rowdy. The other hump day where we're really ready for the weekend, right?
Way, so we're in trouble.
But I looked it up on the net. Okay, so here are some of the benefits of meditation: reduce stress, improve focus and concentration, better sleep quality. I like that one. Enhance emotional awareness, increase self-awareness, pain management, and potentially even an improved immune system. Yeah, so creativity, anxiety, focus, sleep, just happiness in general, compassion, everything's improved, with meditation. What do you want to say about meditation, Charlotte?
I want to take the scariness out of it and the intenseness out of it, because everybody thinks meditation, you got to sit, is it called the lotus pose? I mean,
oh my God, I was going to say that tonight. No, you don't have to go in the freaking lotus pose to do meditation, people.
And, which we used to call something else, but it's no longer politically correct.
There's a lot of people that can't even get into that lotus thing,
Oh, I can't get into that anymore. But first of all, there's no set way to meditate. You can go out and go for a walk, meditate during your walk. Meditation is it's a simple thing of, if you can't empty your brain completely, which it's impossible for me because my brain is like squirrel.
Me too.
Oh, look at that leaf. Isn't that leaf pretty? Ooh, that, or, oh, look, I missed a spot when I wiped the cupboard off, or, something like that. But, you don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to put your fingers in I don't even know what you call this thing. I mean, it's just, but on the other hand, if sitting in lotus position, putting your palms up, putting your middle finger and your thumb together helps you meditate, then by all means do that. But meditation is something that you can do for as short a time as you want, or as long a time as you want. It's a time to love yourself. It's a time to forgive yourself, because my big mistake when I first started was, I was trying to do the lotus pose. It wasn't working. It was uncomfortable. My legs were falling.
I'm trying to picture that.
Yeah, and I was a little smaller back then as well, but I just think, trying to clear slate. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. And then I would beat myself up over it. Oh, you're such a loser. You can't even, not even for 5 minutes can you do this. You know what? You don't have to. It's just a matter of taking yourself, bringing yourself into the moment that you're in. So when you're on your walk, I'm a huge proponent of, um, Dax called it box breathing, but into the count of four, hold for the count of four, out to the count of four. Doing that maybe 4 or 5 times before you start, giving your body a chance to relax, giving your mind a chance to relax, because if you're focusing on your breathing, you can't focus on anything else. And then you can set an intention for what you want to meditate about, or you can just try to allow peace to come into yourself. So, when you're out walking, I mean, there are so many things to see, even this time of year, even though, all the deciduous trees have dropped their leaves and they're just their branches, there's still so much growth and movement going on underneath. But still, I mean, there's beauty in that. There are still birds around. There are still, anything. Just the sound of your feet hitting the whatever, the path you're on, whether it's cement or you found a nice dirt or gravel path that you like to hike on. Even just focusing on that for, 5-10 minutes is a meditation session.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to set your intention on, I've got this problem that I can't solve. My mind feels like it's going 1,000 miles an hour. Sit your butt in a chair or on the floor, ground yourself. Make sure your feet are on the ground. And when I say ground yourself, I think of picture roots growing from the bottom of your feet down into Mother Earth, all the way down. I mean, clear down through all the pores, down through all the everything until your roots feel the heat that's at the core of Mother Earth. And then let that heat and that energy come back up those roots and into your body and help that energy help you solve your problem. And that doesn't mean you're going, oh, does that mean if I take 10 squared divided by the derivative of 9, I'm going to solve my problem? No, it just means just let the thoughts move in and out of your brain non-judgmentally, completely non-judgmentally. And that's the key about meditation, is it's completely non-judgmental. And there you have it. Bob's your uncle. Or if you just, a plain old, just a way to start your day. You can start off with your gratitude list. And so you've already kind of got those things rolling around in your head. But then you sit in the quiet for, again, however long you have. I mean, you can meditate for an hour if you want. But, 5 minutes is plenty. If you don't have that long, do it for 2 minutes. And it's so, Dax listed all the things that are beneficial to you by meditating. I mean, and these are things that are proven. I mean, just like, this is another topic that I would like to talk about eventually, is kindness and the hormones that are released
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, let
from
me add that to the list.
from from being kindness, because they actually have proven that you actually create a very healthy hormone, that when you practice kindness. And not only does it help you, but it helps the person that you are kind to. And that doesn't mean you have to go out and buy a great big giant fruit basket. It can be simple as a smile,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going down the other track. We're on meditation right now. But all meditation is, and I said I don't meditate with my cards, but when I had my Divine Feminine deck out and handy all the time, on a daily basis, I would meditate for a minute and then shuffle my cards, and then I would pull out whichever goddess I needed the power for that day. And then I would sit with that card for a minute. And that's really all meditation is. I mean, I have simplified it so, so, so simple. But there are books, whole books that are written on it. And it's just the simplest thing ever. And it doesn't matter if your mind's going squirrel, 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 squirrel. So let the squirrel come into your head and go right out again. I had an argument with my husband. Okay, let that thought go into your head and right back out again. Yep, you did.
Yep.
But don't go, oh man, I ran my meditation with that fight about my husband. Nope. Just let it go right back out again. Because and I had used this example many times on the show, and I really need to get the guy's name down who I stole this from. It was from a TED talk that he did. But he talks about how many people are in the shower with you when you step into the shower in the morning.
Oh, yes. I've heard this before.
Are you just in there by yourself showering? No, you're thinking about what you've got to do today, what happened yesterday, what didn't work out yesterday, what you hope works out today. Oh my gosh, Christmas is coming up in 3 months. I've got to, what am I going to get, Grandma Grunt for Christmas? I mean, it's as simple as that. And so one of the things that you can help settle your mind is after you've done your box breathing, because you don't want to do that through the whole thing, then just focus on your breathing while you're sitting there in the quiet. Just focus on, oh, just breathe in. Oh, I just breathed out. I just breathed in. I just breathed out. And that, because as long as you're focusing on that one thing, you can't focus on anything else. How simple is that? And that
Right.
is
This
John
this is
Kabat-Zinn. John Kabat-Zinn is the
Yeah.
guy who talked about the shower thing. That's his name, John
Oh,
Kabat-Zinn. And
John.
he's kind of like the granddaddy of mindfulness, living in the moment, and
Yeah. Well,
and
this is
meditation.
kind of getting into what I was going to talk about with using cards, because you use the cards as a focus, and that takes your mind off the random thoughts floating through and everything.
But you have to be willing to accept the random thoughts that
Oh,
goes
yeah.
through.
That's part of it.
Unless you're incredibly powerful, or really, really, thank you, Jet, have really, really mastered the art of meditation and like blocking all things out, things are going to float in and out, and you're just going to let them go. And because the more you focus on them, the longer they're going to stay. So you just let them come in, you let them go out.
Yep.
You don't go, damn it, I was up to 30 seconds of no thoughts, and here came that thought.
Well, see,
Yeah.
Well,
this also
so
goes to
what?
this also goes to what I wanted to talk about with the different types, because see, people think that there's just the one type of meditation, and then
Yeah.
you have to get in the lotus position, and you got to spend like months and years learning to, push all the thoughts out, and you got to get to a point where it's called no mind meditation, but that's only one kind of meditation. There's the opposite, where you actually focus on one thing and keep thinking
Well,
of
that's what I was saying earlier.
intentional.
There is something that you can. But and
Yep.
here's one more way I'm going to just mention, and I'll let you have the
Sure.
floor. I had a friend who was really, I mean, she's really into meditation. She's really into yoga. Uh, she's quite talented when it comes to being, um, having the woo woo abilities. Um, but she uses her meditation at night to put her to sleep. She gets in bed, she lays down, she gets comfortable, and that's when she starts her meditation. And she lets her meditation take her into sleep. So again, if you fall asleep during meditation, no fair kicking yourself. It did what it needed to do. Your body needed to sleep. The meditation let you sleep. And she literally said, how do you think I get to sleep every night? That's when I do my meditation. So
Yep.
back to you, Dax.
What about you, Michelle?
Well, I like to do different kinds of meditation. I do one that's called sitting in the power, and you really learn in this type of, it's a guided meditation, and you really learn to learn your own energy. You learn to know your energy versus other energies around you. So I like the guided meditations, and I like to do my meditations in the shower. it it is just the place.
And if you have the plastic deck, you can take it in the shower with you and still
Exactly.
do card meditation, which is
Yes.
really visualization.
Yes.
When we found out you were going to be on the show, that's the first thing I thought of, was like, wait, does Michelle even do meditation? How does she get time quiet somewhere without Dan running around? Actually, I'm thinking of all the other people that live with you, but Dan too. At least he brings you your coffee. You could be doing a nice meditation in a bubble bath, and he brings the coffee in.
Yep.
You got a latte.
That's right. Yeah.
By the way, I love that banner that I did for the replay.
Yeah.
And I caught Charlotte holding two cards, and I caught you going like this. You're like taking a sip. I was like, oh my God, that is so perfect for cafe. It's like there she is taking a sip of her giant, I don't know, mocha latte, something or other with whipped on top. And it was just, oh my God, it was so perfect. If you
That's
don't know what I'm
awesome.
talking about, go to the replays.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Go under
Just
lives.
watch the show
Yeah.
a few times and you'll see it live.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh.
what a lovely day. Who is Nicole? I had to ask her again because she told us her name on Saturday, and then I forgot it by, today. Or maybe it was Monday she told us. Anyway, one of those days. And she was saying how I work my cleansing in the shower. I unblock my chakras shower. And she says Egypt's been popping up for me lately. I saw a temple yesterday for a brief moment. I believe I've had at least 2 lives in Egypt. I think we all did, because we, practically everybody comes from Africa, or everybody, I guess, originally, or something, whatever, the archaeology. But that, and I know I was on the Titanic when it sank. Don't know if I got off or not. My mom too. Yep. I remember us going to see.
You did that?
I remember us
That's
going.
what you remember?
What
That's
I
what you remember?
remember?
Is that what you are seeing in your thing, or was that whatever we're talking about
Well, no, I was
that
just
saw the
remarking on the
Titanic?
fact that I was remarking that Nicole believes she's had at
Nicole.
least two previous lives in Egypt, and I was saying yes, me too. Plus, on top of that, there's just been
Oh,
there's just been stuff through my entire life and my mom where we feel that we were on the Titanic in a previous life. Yes. And it's come up
interesting.
in meditations. It's come up, just the way we react to anything Titanic. The movie The Titanic came out, and my first thing we did, we were there, you know, release night. I mean, we were there, saw the first showing. Yeah, I mean, we are just huge on anything Titanic, and that's why we think we are, because we think we were on there. And Nicole says something about a memory being a trigger, and Titanic. I love Titanic history. Cool, very cool. Yeah. So what I had written down, it's interesting. I wrote down box breathing and a question to start off meditation. So actually, the actual name box breathing comes from the Navy SEALs. And the way they do it is actually 7, not 4. So you breathe in for 7 count, hold for 7 count, breathe out for 7 count, hold for 7 count. You're making a box, right? And I'm like, okay, but they're Navy SEALs. I ain't doing that. So, do the 4 count, and then just observe, go back to regular breathing, just observe your breathing, like Charlotte was saying. And then the question I ask always is, what is wrong here and now? Just that question. What is wrong here and now? And when you ask yourself a question like that, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind kind of like engage, and they do a devotional search, and they're looking for the answer, kind of thing. Now, the tendency is to go 2 days, 2 hours back, 2 weeks, 2 years, 20 years, or go into the future. Oh yeah, I got to make that payment in 2 weeks, that kind of thing. But you want to pull yourself back into the now by observing the breathing again. But you ask that question, what is wrong here and now? And that tends to also ground you in the now. Because in fact, you can even have a talk with yourself in your head that there is nothing wrong. Oh yeah, there's that thing that happened, or that thing that might happen, but that's in the future and the past. What about right now? There is literally nothing wrong right now. And then you can just let, like Charlotte said, you let the thoughts come in, you observe them, and just let them go back out again. And then another one's going to come in. You don't try to repress them or anything like that. You just look at them, identify without judging it one way or the other or anything like that. Don't put any kind of a judgment on the thoughts that come in. Just go, oh yeah, thought, and then let it drift out again. And this is really good for a particular type of meditation that's kind of in between mindfulness and no mind. Everybody thinks of the no mind, but there's also mindfulness, and then they're in between. What you're actually doing, it's like Eckhart Tolle always says, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get to the point where you have the realization that you are not having the thoughts. And it's kind of a, oh my God, at least it was for me when I finally saw that. And it could happen the first few times you meditate, it could happen weeks, months later. But eventually, just observing the thoughts, you go, oh my God, I'm not thinking that. These thoughts are coming in and going out, and I'm not thinking that. So then you take a step back further and you say, okay, then what is it that is observing the thinking that you're not doing? Oh my God. That's when enlightenment starts right there. You realize that you are not your thoughts. That is a process of the brain, okay, the mind, and you're outside of that, observing. So I like that kind of meditation because you get that realization and then you start using the meditation. In other words, you're not trying to do, I'm not saying don't do the mindfulness. What was the other one I said? The no mind. I'm not saying don't try to do no mind if that's the kind of meditation that you want to try to do. But that's a very particular and not the only one, as we've said multiple times, tonight. There's one more I want to do, but this one I like because you start to open up things once you realize that you are not your mind, and then you can use your mind. You can tell it to have thoughts. You can tell it to have intention, focus on something you want to manifest. There's like so many ways you can then use that, right? And then what Michelle said, about, um, you know, focusing on or doing visualization type meditation, it's all meditation. It's all visualization. Unless you're trying to do no mind, which is really hard, I don't think it's even the best thing to do, really. And then another thing, the one I want to talk about is, supercharging it with cards. And all that is, because our mind thinks in symbols, is using pictures or cards as a focus and focusing on the symbols. And not necessarily choose, you could choose a random card, but for this I would choose a specific card. If I'm trying to manifest something, I'm going to pull the Magician out. If I'm looking for an answer to something, I'll pull out the Hermit, that kind of thing. And then you look at the card and you examine it really closely and try to pick up all the detail in the card. And then you close your eyes, and you close one eye. No, you close your eyes and you reimagine the image in your mind's eye. Hold that for a second, open your eyes and look at the card again. Okay, what detail did you miss? Colors, symbols, details, anything in your mind's eye picture. Just stare at it for a while, figure out what that was that you missed, details, close your eyes, bring it up again, and then open your eyes again and look for anything you miss. And when you get to the point where you're not missing anything, then just go ahead and keep your eyes closed at that point. And then you can do, from that point, you can do several different things. You can go to the mindfulness, meditate into a mindfulness meditation. Can't talk tonight. I don't have any coffee here. That's my problem. I got water, but I don't have any freaking coffee. Anyway, didn't have time. Or what you could do is you could do an intention meditation where you focus on something like the message coming from the Hermit, or the manifesting of something. You could do that. Let's see, mindfulness. I'm trying to think of where else we could go from that. But one of the big things about it is it makes it not boring. I think that's the biggest thing. People think that they have to sit there for 20, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, trying not to think and not fall asleep. And it's simply not true. You don't have to do, first of all, you can just do 2 minutes. And then next time do 3 or 4 minutes. And then next time do 5, 6 minutes. Try to get it up to like 10, but you don't have to go out to this like 20-minute thing. I like the idea that was said about, and people mention it in chat too, about, it being great for sleep and doing it right before sleep. It's like, yeah, heck yeah. When you're getting ready to go to sleep, you're already getting into that woozy alpha state anyway, and it's going to do nothing but help the meditation.
Exactly.
So, yeah, do 4 minutes, 5, 6, 8 minutes, and then you're naturally going to drift off, and it'll help your sleep as well. Plus, I'm always talking about, programming your dreams. You can use this in conjunction with programming your dreams, you see, and then go right into sleep.
Exactly.
I remember in the chat, either Monday or Saturday was either our last show or the show before, someone in chat said that the best is to do it when you first wake up in the morning. It depends. It depends on what you're trying to do. And in reality, there's no best. In fact,
there is no best.
I mean, you could do it. You could do it. But see, I understand why. I understand where he's going with this, but let me explain. There is no right time to do any of this stuff. You could do it in the middle of the afternoon. I know what he's talking about. Okay. But the same state right before you go to sleep is exactly the same state as when you've just opened your eyes. There's at least a few minutes when you open your eyes, when you're still in alpha before beta engages. In fact, lately with my mom wakes up and, oh my God, it takes her 20 minutes to get into beta. I mean, she's just all over the place, and she can't walk straight and everything like that. And I got to help her in the bathroom, and she's just stuck in it like a 4-year-old, but there's at least anywhere from, for some people, if you're one of those persons that grabs your phone right away, yeah, that's going to yank you into beta, and so you're in alpha for like a minute, 2 minutes, some people 5, 10 minutes you're in alpha when you first wake up, but it's the same thing right before you go to sleep. If you set yourself up right, first of all, don't play with the screens before you do this. Turn off the lights, get into the bed, sit there for a second, just do some breathing, let the alpha state start. By the way, all meditation is hypnosis. It's all using alpha state. It's hilarious. All this stuff is the same thing. It's all the same. And it's just where you're putting your attention. Okay, I'm trying to get rid of the thoughts and not have thoughts, or I'm trying to think specifically focused on one thing, or I'm trying to do this mindfulness, or I'm trying to, it's different aspects of it, but it's all around the same thing. People that meditate, and they do the studies on the Tibetan monks and everything like that. I mean, they can go into alpha and then right into like delta and theta, really, really deep. And it's just amazing stuff. I understand why he wanted to say the morning's the best, because if you don't do it right at night, you're not getting into it, because most people rush. So they jump right into trying to meditate, and they just fall asleep after that. They never get into the alpha state properly, so take time to turn the lights down, get in the bed, or if you're not doing it that way, you're doing it in a chair or something like that. And, give yourself some time to start to get into the alpha state before you start, the meditation. And then with the cards, sometimes I lay out 4 cards, and I do one for each direction, and then I put a focus card in the middle. And so that's how cards can, that's all there is to it. No big mystery here, no special secret techniques or anything like that. When I said supercharge your meditation. What I'm talking about is you're giving yourself something to focus on. And those different ways of doing meditation, we gave you some different ways besides the one everybody thinks of about trying to contemplate your navel and get rid of all of your thoughts, which is ridiculous. Instead, you can do all these other cool things like figuring out that you are not the person having the thoughts, or focusing on a specific thing or intention, or focusing on a specific card. It's more fun.
So while you were doing that, I decided to do a little free association writing on this because, well, one, because I just bought a new notebook and some new pens, which that's one of my things I absolutely freaking love. So I have more pens than any one person should, but I consequently have lots more pens than any one person should, but I just put down for anybody who's interested in how I do my free writing. And I did it just while he was talking. So it was no big, it was not that big a deal.
I have no clue even how to start
listening.
doing that.
Well, here, I'm going to tell you. So while you were talking, because I felt like maybe I came up a little bit short, maybe didn't explain myself quite as clearly as I wanted to. But so I just wrote down the question. I said, what do we need to know about meditation? And then I just started writing anything that came into my head. First one that came through, there were 7 things that came through.
Oh, cool.
It's relaxing.
Yes.
Number 1. It gives your body a chance to heal. And even though you're only in meditation for maybe even 5 minutes, okay, you're not going to get a lot of healing done in 5 minutes, but you're going to plant the seeds of healing in those 5 minutes. All right. Does that make sense? It gives you a chance to see into the future sometimes, depending on, how much you're tuned into. It's a time to forgive yourself. Ding, 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 which is huge for all of us because we all bear so many burdens of regret that we need to just effing let go. I am the poster child of that. And when I can figure out the best way to do it, I'll let you know. I'm going to start holding seminars on it because I am like a major work in progress. But in that short time, it does give me a chance to forgive myself. Now I might start beating myself up again immediately after. But the more time I spend actually forgiving myself, the better I'm going to get at it. And the more effective I'm going to be at it. The next one is it's a chance to live in the moment. So we take away about all the what ifs, coulda, shoulda, wouldas. And it gives us a chance to just be in the moment. Okay. Again, this is the time when you would just things float into your head. You just say, move on by, thanks for popping in. See you later. Okay. Gives you a chance to live in the moment. It's a chance for self-love. I wish I could see the, our chat people, because how many people need, more self-love? And that harks back to forgiving yourself. But again, these are things that just came through with my free writing. I didn't sit here and think, what's next? What's next? What's next? I just let whatever thought float into my head come out onto my paper. So, chance for self-love. So, okay, you can't spend 24/7 giving yourself self-love. At least you've given yourself your time of meditation. I think just doing meditation is a chance of self-love. whether
Mm-hmm.
you're, like trying to tune in your inner child at that time or whatever. But I think just doing meditation is a chance for self-love. And here's the big one. This was the one that came in last, and I feel like it was the biggest. It's a chance to pull your energy back into you, because we live our lives sharing ourselves all day, every day, you know, giving our energy away to other people. Sometimes it's taken from us with, with energy vampires. But during the time that we are in meditation, and with our breathing and with our stillness, it gives ourselves a chance to pull our energy back into us, to restore our core, to silence our mind, to
Mm-hmm.
energize our mind, and um, set us off on the right foot again, a little bit, with a little bit more. Our cup is no longer half empty. Our teapot is not is no longer empty. We've filled up our teapot again, so we feel like we can go out and share a cup of energy tea with the people that we come up against. Not against, because that sounds really negative. That we come into contact with daily. So
Hmm.
that's what my free association writing gave me. And
Very
just
cool.
the
Yeah.
few minutes that we're talking, and I can't say enough again about free writing and how simple it is. I didn't need an hour to do this free writing.
Mm-mm.
That took me
Yeah,
less than 3 minutes to do that.
really quick. Really good
So
points too.
Yeah.
And I just wanted, but before we end this, I just wanted to say really quickly that uh using cards for your meditation, one of the big parts of that for me is making it more interesting and fun than
Hmm.
than just trying to get into a lotus position and or contemplating my navel or trying to push my thoughts out. It's like, no, I can't. I've tried that. I can't do that.
no, I
But
can't
whenever
either.
when I do focus meditation, when I sit there and I'm on my bed, and yes, I kind of am in the lotus position because I got my legs crossed and everything, I'm laying on the bed, and I just woke up in the morning, and I'm laying out cards in a spread, and then I'm doing a focus card, and then I'm just focusing on those cards, and then drawing in from the outer cards to the center card and just focusing on that center card and bringing it into my mind's eye. And it's a nice little gentle simple process, and it's fun.
Hmm.
Sometimes I
Yeah,
choose a specific card, other times I pull randomly from the deck and put a card out, and those are the most fun because you don't know what card you're going to get if you pick randomly, and then you lay, oh, the three of swords. What does that mean? And then do a meditation on it, right? And then
yeah,
there's the guided meditations. Those I really like because like I have my famous guided meditation into the Hermit card. We should do that live on air one day, just
We
for
should. Yeah.
yeah. And that's a little different because it's not like you by yourself just meditating. It's someone's guiding you through the meditation or visualization, we normally call it, but it's a meditation too, you know.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
I
and
did
by the way,
mean
we're at the end of the show.
I did mean to tip
Do you believe
my
we've been
hat to
talking this?
Michelle.
Wow.
I did mean to tip my hat to Michelle talking about guided meditation, because there have been I've had some really cool experiences with guided meditation. I mean, that have taken
Yeah.
me places so deep. I taught high school for a while, and on my off hour, everybody gets 1 hour off. I was I was listening to one, and so I had the lights out in my room, and it hit me so hard. I started crying. And when, one of the administrators happened to come in to ask me a question, and there I am. Uh, don't mind me sitting here in the dark crying. But just, and how do you explain? Oh, I just went through I had my earbuds in and just went through it was about animal communication, ironically.
Of
And
course.
yeah, but guided meditation is super cool. But come on, we gotta go at least, unless your parents are like, you know,
I
but we
don't
gotta
know.
go
I
at
don't
least,
know. I don't know.
we
But
gotta go at least 15 minutes over. We gotta take at
we
least
went
one or two questions.
we went long with this topic, and didn't
We did.
I didn't think it was going to go this long because it's
I
like
know.
Well,
literally I could talk about this in 2 minutes. I mean, really, there's not a whole lot to my side of doing meditation. Really, it to me it's very easy, and I just like the either guided meditation or visualization or using cards or
Yep.
doing my absolute favorite thing, of course, is Eckhart Tolle. And just
Yeah.
I think everybody should start there so they realize that they are more than their body and their mind. They're not the ones having the
yeah.
thoughts. Yep. So I wrote down a bunch of questions and stuff like that. We'll see what we can do. It's gonna have to be like ridiculously fast,
Okay.
just 5 seconds.
Speed racing.
It's gonna have to be speed, like just draw a card. But I did want to mention our Saturday show because we're going to be doing 3-card spreads, small but mighty. Small but mighty. And Michelle, I don't know if you're joining us on Saturday, but I put your picture up there anyway.
Good. Okay.
So if you want to join us,
That was one of our things we picked today while we were chatting, was 3-card spreads.
3-card
right.
spread. Yep. And then there will be no show or anything on Sunday. Sunday is completely off. But we'll be back on Monday the 27th. And I don't know, maybe I'll do my 5-card yes no spread real quick. Or we could talk about kindness like Charlotte brought up, but we'll come up with a topic for Monday. We just don't have it like in the bag right at this second, yes. So Monday the 27th, we'll be back. No show on Sunday, but join us Saturday. So no show tomorrow, Saturday, no show Sunday. Join us on Monday. And then our next coffee social is that Wednesday, next week already. And we're doing it on a special night. We normally do Sunday afternoons. We're going to try something different. The 29th at, what is that? 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, Michelle's show will be back Saturday, February 8th.
Yay.
Gratitude in the face of tragedy. Yep. And remember, I mentioned about Kelly and Sandy joining the lifetime membership. That's we brought it back for the new year. That's this New Year's sale that we have going on. It's $99 or 2 payments of $67. You get membership for life, which includes those coffee socials, which is live free mentoring and coaching, and we answer all your questions twice a month, and lots of benefits of membership in the Tarot Guild. But we've been doing this 20 years. But you also get my course free. So if you're new to tarot and numerology, you get that. If you're not new, that's okay. We got other cool stuff, like you get your certification free.
Yes.
It's included. It's included. Yes. And earlier I put a link. You can go over to my page. My readings are 50% off. I don't even like to call them readings. I like to call them sessions, because life coaching, tarot, numerology, God knows what we'll get into. $49.99 right now. Awesome sauce. So I already had pulled cards for Maria, which is a little bit out of order, but I'm going to jump into that.
Okay.
Sally wants to know, I would love to know what guides want me to know about love. So
Okay.
who wants to take the love question? Michelle, Charlotte?
Whichever.
Okay.
Go for it, Michelle.
Michelle, you do.
I think you're really good at those things, Michelle. I want to call you Mush because that's what my cousin and friend, her name is Michelle, and we always call her name as forever and always. Her nickname has been Mush.
Mhm.
That's one of the names my
There you
mom
go.
called me.
There you go. And
That's
meanwhile,
funny. Okay,
while I'm
Sally.
doing while I'm doing Maria's and while Michelle's getting ready for Nicole's or for Sally's, Nicole has a question. Hello, can I just have a general message from the universe? So I'll give
Yeah,
that one
those
to
are
you,
the kind I
Charlotte.
love the best anyway.
Yeah, so it just worked out perfectly. So Maria asks, will I give birth to my first child in 2026? Okay, that's a very specific question. So I got the Justice card and the Five of Cups. So justice will be served, but it does, I don't know, with the Five of Cups showing up, I don't know if it's going to happen exactly along your timing, Maria. However, I did pull another card just to see what I would get, and I got the Nine of Cups, literally the wish come true card. So if that's something you really want, is to have babies, your wish can come true. It just might not be on your schedule. It might not be 2026. One last thing though, as a numerologist, I got to say 2026, best time to have a baby. It's a 1 year. You're going to start, a whole new cycle. It's perfect, and then that kid gets to always be, in a 1 year cycle, that they're in a 1 year personal year at the same, and a 1 year of the world year, they're in alignment with it, which is really cool. What'd you get for Sally, Michelle?
So for Sally, so the first card I got is the dice card. So I feel like you're gambling with something. You
Ooh.
want to do something, you want to take a risk, but you're really struggling with taking that risk. You're really gambling with something on your mind. So someone is coming in with a message for you. And so pay attention to people around you that they may not even know they have a message for you, but they do have a message for you. And that message is going to be about resources. So, whatever it is you are wanting to step into, wanting to take that risk for, whatever it is you're gambling on, the message coming through for you, whoever it is that's going to be there who has that message, it's going to be about the resources to help you with this choice. And so be looking for somebody to help you make a choice with not just the resources in the physical, but the resources that might be going on in your mind. Because if you have any wishy-washy going on, then the decisions might be tainted. So you really want to look at those pros and cons under a microscope and make sure that the resources up here are accurate. Okay. And so that's the message I have for you. Okay, Dax, we can't hear you.
Oh, I'm not saying anything. I'm just letting Charlotte jump in.
Okay, all right. So the message is, this is Dax's favorite card because it looks like a big old poop, but it's not. It's the galactic mushroom, the divine matrix. And this is this is saying that, whatever you're wishing and dreaming for is, you know, that's being heard. And whatever intention, you are consistently holding, with hope and faith, it's going to manifest first in the unseen realm. So your most beautiful dreams are being birthed right now, not just for you, but the highest good of all. So, even though, and that's how manifestation works, is you don't tell, when you manifest something, you don't tell the universe how it's going to work because you don't know. You just put it out there and you hope it does. And I think the whole purpose of like using this mushroom as the symbol is because one, the mycelium, the roots grow deep. I mean, they grow way deep. And they're all and they network out and they connect with every other living thing. And then also how they reproduce is they just pour out a ton of spores out the top of their cap, and that starts a whole other network of things happening, right? So things you're what you're manifesting, fear not, you're being heard and things are working. And then the next card I got was the lay of the land, which is the ancestral wisdom. And that talks about like everybody that's come before you has left little clues and hints and things behind, on their way through that are available for you to learn from, for you to pick up and to use. And so, I would suggest like finding a mentor of some sort, even if it's like your grandparents or I mean, it doesn't have to be a family member, but just somebody that can help you, um, that can kind of help you keep your mind focused on what you're manifesting, kind of. And because also you have to remember with manifestation, you can't just say this is what I want and then not work towards it. But it's saying there are all sorts of things out there to help you work towards it. And as long as you do that, you're going to discover the treasure that all these people that have come before you have left behind. So this card is kind of saying look forward and look backwards and, learn. You don't have to, it's basically saying you don't have to reinvent the wheel because things are already there. So know that it's being done. And then if you put a little bit of work in, there are things that are going to help you along the way. So that is the message from the universe.
Very
Hope that
cool.
helped.
Yep. Emily was next. What's coming up for me this year? If you can, Michelle, can you do Emily's? What's
All
coming
right.
up for me this year? If you can. Before Emily was Irene, message from the universe. Really simple. Here, Irene, it's the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So there's a focus on emotions here, emotional stability, and also your psychic ability with the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups also hints at meditation. Yes, like the topic here. So work on your meditation, just like we were talking about all night tonight. And that's the message I'm getting. It's going to open up your psychic ability. Okay, Michelle, what did you get for Emily? Charlotte, Ladybug was asking, why did my coworker ask me who dropped me off at work yesterday? What?
That's their nosy bugger.
Why don't you ask? Yeah, sorry, rowdy readers. But yeah, Ladybug, why don't you just that's like
Well, I'll pull a card to it.
we'll pull a card. Yeah, Charlotte will pull a card for it, but it is going to answer what the universe thinks you need to know right now, maybe not necessarily why your coworker asked you about who it was dropping you. I guess they're nosy.
They're
Michelle.
incredibly nosy.
So for Miss Emily, the first card I got is the ring. So there is a contract, a commitment, something coming up that is going to take a lot of your focus, okay? It's going to take a serious commitment. It could cause some burdens for you. It could make you feel like at first like you're suffering, or like this commitment might be too hard, too much to handle, right? Like maybe I shouldn't do it. But you also got the Sun card. So if you really look at this commitment under the microscope, or under the magnifying glass, I'm so sorry. If you look at it under the magnifying glass, and again, with the pros and the cons, if you weigh it out really evenly and balance it out, then this commitment can turn out to be a good thing. Okay. And so just because it's a ring does not mean it's a love commitment. It could be, like I said, it could be a contract that is going to be coming up for you. And so just be on the lookout for some sort of signing of a deal or anything of that nature, and make sure it's in balance with what is right and what you need at the moment. So that's what I have for you tonight.
Awesome. Go ahead,
Okay,
Charlotte.
so I came up with the jeweled web connectivity, which the intuitive stuff that came in with this card was one. I think there was some stupid, did I say stupid? Jealousy going on. Oh, you might have a one-upmanship on her, she thinks, or he thinks, or whoever. I don't know if it was a he or a she. But I mean, first and foremost, they're just nosy. I mean, they're way too nosy for their own good, but that's how they use their power. They gather information thinking that they're going to get something up on you, because the jeweled web talks about, where you want to be. And the jeweled web says, you know what? Picture yourself in the place where you want to be, where you want to land, and that's where your treasure is going to be. Because, as we know, webs are, an intricate weaving of different paths and different things. And for everyone, the treasure is going to be different. So it's also saying, first of all, it's none of their effing business. And for you to just, one of those things that we talked about earlier, let that thought go in your head and write out, because that person, there's something going on, because that thing is like bugging it. I mean, like, I want to talk to that person and just say, what is wrong with you? I mean, it's none of your damn business. But the second card I got was Caterpillar, and it's about opportunity. See, so again, this person is like, for some reason, has got their eye on you. And I thought it was so interesting, because I heard him took a sneak peek in at the book, and I read a bit about this card that I honestly have never seen before. I've never paid attention before. And it says sometimes the best response is no response. So I picture you just kind of looking at them with dead eyes And, like, and just turning and walking away. But uh also, um noticing that because of that person's interest in whoever dropped you off, that there might be some sort of opportunity there that they think you're going to get. And maybe that person does exude some sort of opportunity. And so maybe pay attention who did drop you off and see if there is some sort of opportunity coming up. And when the time comes, pounce. But in the meantime, just ignore that nosy Nelly and
Yep.
go on with life. And I do have to say, sweetheart, why are you even worried that they ask you about that? And if it bothers you, I wouldn't necessarily give them an answer at all. I mean, this card says, no response is a response. But because I'm kind of a little feisty biatch today, I would say, why do you even need to know that? And then turn and walk away. Don't even wait for their answer. Just leave them sitting there wondering. But that's what I got, is just that person is just maybe trying to stir up a little bit of trouble. And so the more you can ignore them, the better off you're going to be.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, everybody, and like as well. The last question came in from our regular Sahani.
Sahani.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, she put it in again. She thought
Hi,
I missed it.
Sahani.
No, it's just you were several questions down. We answered several questions. What's like the next blessing coming in for me soon? And I got the Knight of Cups. Ooh, there's some romance or a message about romance or something like that coming in, Sahani. It's looking really good. And I pulled a clarifier card, got the Queen of Wands. Don't forget to maintain your independence when that happens. Like, don't lose yourself in anything, like a relationship, if that was to happen or something along those lines. But yeah, that's looking really good. Okay. So we hit the ground running, and I never did the cards of the day, which are the Six of Cups and the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords looks back. Do you notice, guys, how the Page of Swords is looking back to the Six of Cups and not at his sword? Yeah. So it's indicating a focus on the past and nostalgia. Now, a lot of times when there's a single sword, I always say, okay, so that's, a single thought or idea that they're trying to run with, and they're using the past to help them with that. I often tell people, think back. If you're having trouble, figuring out what to do, think back 6 years old, 5 years old, 7, 8. What were you really excited about? What made your eyes light up? Okay. So that can often help you with figuring that out. This combination can also signal the arrival of an important person from one's past or a powerful reunion with a long lost friend. It might also signify reconnecting with childhood friends or family members. Alternatively, it could imply that one is acting without considering the long-term consequences of their actions, relying instead on their natural wit and tendency to go, kind of on impulse. That's a attribute of the Page of Swords. Yeah. Oh, and that first thing I pointed out about the nostalgia, the Page of Swords, so this is something brand new. This is not something you've been working on. If it was the Knight of Swords, King of Swords, this is the Page of Swords. This is like the very beginning. And, he's looking back at the Six of Cups to his past for inspiration if it's a project. that's it. That's the cards of the day. We need to get out of here.
Nice.
Oh my God, we almost did an hour and a half. Oh,
Well, that was because meditation.
that was fun though.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Suhani says, "Oh, something steamy." Exactly.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna have to let us know what happens.
Right.
All righty. Thanks for coming, Michelle and Charlotte.
Thanks
Especially
for
you,
having
Michelle,
us.
because you've only had one show this year.
I know.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
your second one. Yep.
Yep.
And don't forget, folks, no show tomorrow, but we'll be back on Saturday. Do I still have that up somewhere? I think so. Saturday show. Here it is.
There.
3-card spread, small but mighty. So, Michelle, Charlotte, bring your favorite 3-card spreads. We'll
All right.
chit-chat. Yeah, and we'll be back then. Bye.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Yay.